Right, it's time for Ask Cloudy. Hey Cloudy, said a person on Twitter at some point this week. Can I play my Stadia account at a friend's house?
Yes, you can. It is actually quite easy to do. All you need to do is bring your phone with you, and away you go. As long as as long as you've got your. I'm assuming this question was about playing it on the TV.
I guess so.
Yeah. So as long as that person's house you're going to has a Chromecast, you can bring your Stadia. Or sorry, I will rephrase a Chromecast Ultra. If they've got a Chromecast Ultra on their TV, you can hook that up and you can play your Stadia on that because you'll be picking up from your phone. You would need to connect your controller to the Wi-Fi to do that, but yes, Stadia is the perfect portable console experience there is because all you need is the Chromecast Ultra and your controller if you want to play it on the TV.
So, literally, if you've got a Chromecast Ultra, or if your friend has a PC and you remembered your Google login details, because you're going to need the login details for the Gmail account that you used to set the account up, or you just happen to have your phone with you, pretty much, yes, is the answer, isn't it? Because it's as mobile as you want it to be, really.
Yep, and I've already seen some of these cases about there just to show you how portable it is, because the cases are just literally the size of the controller, and that includes your Chromecast Ultra to bring about. So you can literally bring your Stadia with you with something real. My case isn't actually here. With a really, really small case, you don't have to lug about anything major like a Xbox or anything like that. As long as they've got a decent Wi-Fi connection, you're rocking. You can bring your Stadia anywhere with you.
I'm Rokk.
Yep.
It's worth pointing out, though, that you will need, if you take your controller with you, you will need to set it up on the new Wi-Fi, which is a bit of a faff. You basically have to go, you have to turn it on, hold down the button until it flashes orange, go to your Stadia app, click on the little controller in the top. It goes, oh, I found a controller. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. And then it says, which Wi-Fi network? Yeah, that one. Then you have to enter the password, and then it goes, okay. Then it programs it in, and finally it's ready. So there's a little bit of setting up to do, to be fair. Unless, of course, as we've said, you just ping it onto a PC. And, of course, you don't even need your Chromecast Ultra. As long as they have a Chromecast Ultra that is one of the newer ones and has been at least updated to run Google Stadia, you're pretty much good to go. So there's a little bit of techno faff if you're talking around the TV side of things. Although we are waiting to hear about a new Chromecast from Google, aren't we? Which has been kind of codenamed Sabrina. And we have very little. We know that it will almost certainly come with Stadia built in from day one. And we don't know yet, but it may be an easier setup process as well if you've got a controller and not necessarily a Stadia controller. So that's one to keep an eye open. My guess again is probably around Christmas time we'll be looking at that one being rolled out.
Yep, and we're also seeing that Android TV is showing signs of life as well, so that would make it even easier because all you would need is a controller. It wouldn't even need your Stadia controller then to get hooked up to it.
Just a Bluetooth controller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you cast, if you've got you're running Stadia on your phone, can you flick up the old thing and cast it to a TV that way?
Yes, but it has to be in the same Wi-Fi network. So, you mean actual cast it?
Yeah, yeah, from your phone.
Yeah, and then you use a Bluetooth controller through your phone.
Yeah, maybe that's I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, that could be a thing.
Not at the moment, but you can just cast it onto as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network.
But you'd need a Chromecast
Ultra
anyway, so you may as well just use your app and Google Home.
I was just trying to work out everything
there.
So.
Yeah, it's a bit of an old faff, isn't it? Really.
I'm hoping things do make
Yeah.
the pairing up of the controllers is a complete another pain at times. As you've said, I think they need to somehow get that process a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but I would love to see the whole process made so much simpler in terms of setting up your Wi-Fi network, your controllers, even doing, even a little tool that goes off ahead of you and has a look at your network and says, oh, I see you're running an Asus whatever router, and here's the settings because I've got I've got a pre-packer template over here, and I'll just do that for you and set that up or advise you what you need. All that stuff they could so easily do and make life so much simpler for people who, because we know if you don't have your router set up, your experience isn't going to be great. You're going to blame Stadia. You're going to badmouth it to your mates. They've lost 5 sales straight off the bat. Whereas if they'd have just said, oh, we see that you've not got XYZ set up on your router, we'd strongly advise you do that because, it's good. And then off it would go. So yeah, I'd like to see that happen. I'd like to see the process of, I understand the thing with controllers. As we know, it has to go directly through, the Stadia controller goes directly through, we talked about this last week, Wi-Fi to reduce latency, which again expands and increases and makes the whole experience a little bit faster and a little bit slicker. But I'd like to think over time they'll improve the user experience, as we call it. Great stuff. Duncan, I think that'll do for Cloudy. Just to remind folks, the reason we asked Cloudy is because Duncan is here representing his amazing website, cloudywithachanceofgames.com. We also, it's worth pointing out, let's have a look. Stand up, mate. Let's have a look. That's a beautiful logo. Where'd you get that done? You're muted, but that's all.
No, some agent did it for me, but I can't stand up. There was a slight typo on the thing that came out. So
there would if there was ever to be a typo on a T-shirt, it would be yours.
Yeah, that would be.
It would absolutely be yours. There are things, mate, that you excel at. Running marathons, managing teams, coming up with amazing ideas for news and stuff. But let's be honest, English is not your foremost skill, is it? Let's be frank here.
Yeah, I'm running a website as well, which that's always useful.
But we use Cloudy with a Chance of Games for all of our news content. So please do pop along to cloudywithachanceofgames.com and also Cloudy with Games at Twitter. And of course, you also have, at this moment in time, a not overly stocked YouTube channel, but I know that's all down the road. There'll be more content, and you'll be doing some roundtable stuff and what have you as well, won't you?
Yep, that's one thing I'm looking to really start pushing out as well. We've got an amazing team now, and I'm looking to increase the YouTube content going forward.
Yeah, it's great to see it. Was it last Sunday or the Sunday before where we talked about, or it may even have been, to be fair, Rokk Around the Clock on a Wednesday. They all blur into one for me. But we put out a kind of an all points bulletin, for people to jump in and help you. And lo and behold, what are you showing now? Your breasts? What's going on? Cloudy with a Chance of Gaming, lowercase g. Well, it's just not clever, mate, is it? Not clever. And thankfully we had, he's muted, say whatever you want now, folks, a ton of people jump in, and you've now got how many people working?
I've lost count, actually. I've got
it grows on a daily basis, genuinely.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to, I like diversity of thought and everything here. It's there's people in Cloudy I don't agree with maybe their opinions, but that's exactly what I want. Yes, you. But that's what you want, because that actually strengthens people's arguments one way or the other. That is, I want a complete diversity of everything.
It's great stuff. And so, once again, if you just fancy getting an opinion in print or doing some game reviews, there's a big space at the moment for doing loads of, as I've said, video content. Get in touch with Duncan and join the club. It's growing all the time. Rokk, who is in the chat, hi mate. He was, I think, number one sign up, which was brilliant. That came from that conversation. And just literally a couple of days ago, Stadia Revolution joined the team, which is amazing. So he's already written a really interesting article, and I know there'll be loads more to come. I think Barry put up a first view or how to sign up a game, which is PGA. Lots of good stuff. Anyway, look, I've oversold you, mate. You're not getting paid that much.
Yes, I know.
Look at that. He's lost his. He's turned into a pizza. Wow, classic stuff. Let's go back here, and so I can say. So what happens? You see, mate. The old. It's your own fault.
Chat. I'm you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. We had a great turnout in chat, as always. And we always say this, it's early doors here. It's, what is it now? 11:15 on a Sunday morning here in UK land. Our American friends are just thinking about waking up. So if you're watching the show later, thank you very much for watching later. It's really, really kind of you. As I mentioned, this is also available on podcast on all your favorite podcast channels. So your Spotify's and your iTunes and so on. You can pick it up there. And we also chop it up into little bits and release it through the week. So if you just fancy picking up Rokk Review or latest news, look out for those as well. But I do hope you have a fantastic week. Duncan, I hope you have a fantastic week, my friend. I look forward to some more Stadia revelations and news, which we can report on next Sunday. You've been watching Rokk and Duncan. I'm going to say rock out, and you're going to say...
Goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Duncan works for me. Take care, folks. Have a fantastic week.